Hello there. Today, because I crave disappointment, we are going to be reviewing the blacksmithing in the video game Valheim. Right off the bat, he's pounding away not on the anvil, but on the forge itself. One wonders what he is hoping to accomplish. The forge model is okay. There's a heat shield to protect the bellows. This is a nice touch. Unfortunately, the fire pot is too high. This means that you can only heat up the end of the bar, as you can't lay anything across the fire. It's good that there are bellows, but these bellows are absolutely terrible. This would be a bad model for even fireplace bellows. Here's a hammer, which is okay, no complaints. Beside it, we've got some tongs, which, as we've seen, is not to be taken for granted in a video game, but unfortunately they are not blacksmith's tongs. They're sort of spring-loaded tongs, which is not what you want to hold something securely. Nearby we have what the game calls forge bellows. These are not forge bellows. These are very nicely modeled fireplace bellows. Forge bellows should have at least 2 chambers for continuous airflow and either a pedal or a lever to work them. The legs also lack any kind of cross bracing and are attached to the bellows by a chain. This is non-functional, the thing would just tip over. Over here we've got a tool rack. Additional tongs, which is always nice to see. Unfortunately, the 2 pairs of tongs on the left are very weird. Well, all the tongs have a modeling mistake. Look at the hinge where the arms meet the head. It's facing the wrong direction. These jaws will open sideways, not the way you'd expect. What I mean to say is that with the tongs as they are now, you would expect them to open towards the hammer, but because of the way the hinge is placed, it would instead open towards the player and the wall. The jaws would miss each other. The tongs are non-functional. The handles are also too far apart. You want them to be close together when they're closed so that they can fit in one hand. Looking at the hammers, the sledgehammer on the left is pretty good. The one in the middle is a little bit weird. The one on the right is fine. Below them we have a quenching pail which has no water in it, which I'm going to assume is a technological limitation rather than a design oversight. Interestingly, it's got some hoops for storing tools, but there are no tools stored in there. Or maybe they're handles for moving it around. Moving on, we've got what it terms the smith's anvil. The model is very nice, but it's got 2 problems. First, it's the wrong type for whatever period this game is failing to represent. This is not an early medieval anvil. This anvil is a good half a millennium out of place. The second problem is that this is way too high. You want the anvil to be at sort of hip level, not chest height. Not only is it going to be difficult to get any real power with this anvil, but you're also going to be giving yourself tennis elbow. Moving on, we have the grinding wheel, which seemingly has no way to make it spin besides directly spinning the wheel with your hands. This would wear out your fingers and not be very efficient. Then last but not least, we have the anvils. This is accurate to what an early medieval smith would be forging on. It's also at more or less the right height. These are very good, but I've got 2 petty gripes. One, I wouldn't have all 3 on the same block. This would make it difficult to work certain angles. And my second is that 2 of the anvils are more or less the same, so there wouldn't be any point in having them on the same block anyway. And that just about wraps things up. 1 thumbs up. Not a stellar effort, but better than some we've seen.